Greetings, my fellow brainiacs and geniuses. Welcome to episode 1 of Into the Lab. I am Professor Ion, and in the lab today, we will be doing a quick review of the Model D, the new ergonomic gaming mouse by Glorious PC Gaming Race, and comparing it to their previous release, the Model O. Stay till the end to hear why I believe the current Model D is the best wired gaming mouse for those gamers with medium to large hands. Let's get to the lab. Into the Lab is a series where I test and evaluate various products I use on a day-to-day basis and share my findings with the masses. Today we're looking at the new Model D by Glorious PC Gaming Race, an ergonomic 6-button RGB customizable mouse that is an iteration of their previous ambidextrous Model D. Upon arrival, I immediately noticed the packaging was different from the Model O. The box was larger and flatter. The new box allowed for the cable to have its own section rather than be routed under the mouse. This was probably done to avoid any kinking in the wire, which is prevalent in the Model O release. While I do commend Glorious for the redesign, I did still experience some tangling in the wire. With a little effort, I was able to remove the tangle, but just be careful when you get yours. The contents of the box are just the standard stuff you'd expect. You get the mouse, obviously, some extra pads to increase the surface area of the mouse gates if you like that feel, some stickers, as well as a quick start guide. The box is nice and sturdy, and I would recommend keeping it if you plan on reselling the mouse later. The Model D comes in at 68 grams for the matte version and 69 grams for the glossy version. Considering its size, this is extremely light. The hexagonal cutouts allow for the mouse to remain light in your hand and still maintain structural rigidity. I was always an advocate of heavier mice. However, since using the Model O and Model D, I have grown to like the airiness and weightlessness of a lighter mouse. The left and right click on the mouse is satisfying and tight. The middle mouse button is a harder click, but better than the Logitech middle mouse click, as you can click it faster than the latter. I found it slightly better than the Model O. I'm not sure what changed, but the click is definitely tighter and more responsive. The scroll wheel has a great balance of friction. The DPI switch is placed in the standard spot between the left and right mouse button with a low profile switch that you won't have to worry about accidentally hitting. The on-run switches on this mouse are rated for 20 million clicks, so you are safe to click away in your clickiest of clicky games and not worry if your mouse is up for the job. The mouse uses the Pixart PMW3360 sensor with the max DPI of 12,000 and a polling rate of 1,000 Hz. The liftoff distance is really excellent, and I haven't found any problems with quick flicks and resets with this mouse. The G-skates at the bottom of the mouse are extra smooth and probably some of the best mouse skates in the industry. I'd suggest using a smooth cloth mousepad for this mouse. The surface area on these skates appear to be a little bit smaller than the Model O. However, I couldn't feel any noticeable difference. I was not a fan of the added mousescapes that came with the mouse, as I felt it didn't really add anything to the way the mouse felt, and it didn't look flush with existing mousescapes. Your mileage may vary though. If you wish to have more control of the mouse, you can download the software to control things like the RGB settings, DPI settings, liftoff distance, polling rate, and debounce time. While I don't like having to install another program to change the settings on a device, I do think changing the debounce time to 4 milliseconds and lowering the liftoff distance to 2 millimeters is something you should do. Oh, another note. Each DPI settings has a color associated with it. On the bottom of your mouse is a DPI color indicator, which you can use to determine what your setting is. I keep mine set at 800 DPI constantly, but for those of you on 4K monitors or widescreens, having multiple settings to switch through could be of great benefit to you. Now let's talk about the shape. This is why I was so excited for the mouse in the first place. It looks like the Model D takes its design from the Zowie EC1. The slope along the back of the mouse is more steep, so it allows your fingers to get over the top if you prefer to have a claw grip. The Model D has a slightly wider back, and the apex of the mouse is pushed slightly forward. This gives it a more in-the-pocket feel than the Model O. It feels more locked in and secure, which I really like. The Model O, which has a flatter curve, still feels great. However, with large hands, your fingers could sometimes feel really high above the mouse, or you had to curl your fingers back more to not overshoot the buttons. This left a large amount of space between the top of your palm and the mouse. This characteristic on the Model O allowed you the ability to use your fingers more to make more small micro adjustments, but felt slightly inconsistent when doing big sweeping motions or switching directions while tracking targets. The Model D slips in, see what I did there, nicely to your palm. And the lateral slope of the mouse buttons, while a little extreme from what I used to, feels really good. The cable on the mouse is woven slightly tighter than my Model O and doesn't restrict the motion on the mouse at all. You have an option to get an aftermarket paracord to customize your mouse even more, and installing it won't void your warranty. Good on you, Glorious. What can I say? This mouse feels really great. If you're an individual with large hands between 17 centimeters and 20 centimeters and use a claw or palm grip, I'd say the Model D is the best wired gaming mouse you can buy right now. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Links to the product in the description below. If you click on those, it gives a little kickback to the channel. If you like this content and want to see more, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell button on the side so that you get notifications when I put out a new video. Until next time, Professor Ion, see ya. Where's the stop button? Where's the stop button?